Love it. Holy shit.
So this is my amazing and gorgeous friend Teika, and this is Teika's tattoo studio. So back in early 2022, Teika asked me if I would make her a coffee table for the waiting area, and this is something that I immediately agreed to and I was super excited about. Until I saw the piece of wood that she found, and I think the term ugly duckling comes to mind. So now we're really gonna figure out if it is possible to polish a turd. So I'm not even kidding. This piece was like a potato chip. And not even a good potato chip. It was kind of like a Pringle. Which meant I was going to need to remove a lot of meat to get this thing flat. So after a few hours of flattening this thing out, I started to realize this might not be an ugly duckling after all. So I know you want to see the pretty cookie all polished up and sparkling, but you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. But what I can do is show you a nice little water pop. It was actually pretty enough that I immediately needed to take a picture and send it to Teika. So now that Teika was successfully dying of happy, the next thing to do was start pouring some resin into these cracks and voids. So for this whole project, I'm going to be using TotalBoat's high performance resin and Thickset Fathom. Not quite an ugly duckling anymore. So with everything all sealed up, it was time to play with some moss and some mushrooms. So with my mushrooms and all my little mosses all secured in place, the next thing to do was pour some Thickset Fathom to seal them in. Wow. That's cool. So after about 4 days, that resin was hard enough, and I was able to flip the piece over and start working on the top side. So after another 3 or 4 days of waiting for that epoxy to harden up, the next thing to do was figure out how much of this corner we were going to fill with epoxy. And that led to a very interesting and fun conversation with Teika. So with the decision made that there would be no stick dick in this table, which is kind of unfortunate, but I mean, it was kind of little, so you gotta protect the little ones. The next task was figuring out how I was going to make a border to pour my resin. Now at first I thought I could use a Home Depot bucket for this, but turned out that wasn't gonna work. So I ended up going to Home Depot and finding this landscape trim. So after playing around a little bit with the shape and the size, I got my border figured out. I could then squeeze out some caulk onto my base and secure this table down for a nice little layer of resin. So once that layer had cured overnight, the next thing to do was set all my mosses and mushrooms in place and get ready for the big pour, the deep pour that scared the bejesus out of me. Yeah. So I need to do math. Okay. And 8 inches, 16 ounces, 15 inches. It'll take more time. 48 ounces. Might be 32. It's not 70. Jeebus. We're gonna do 48. It's still a lot. So with all that figured out, I could take my Thickset Fathom out of the bath and get my resin mixed and prepped for this pour. So thankfully the pour went really well. I didn't have any leaks, and I only needed to add a little bit of tuck tape to this one section to keep it from spilling over the back. So with all of the bubbles popped that I could, the next thing to do was hurry up and wait. So after about 7 to 10 days of waiting, it was time to get this thing demolded and reveal my nice round edge that contains the stick dick. So with everything all cleaned up, the next thing to do was start finishing this piece. So in the essence of time, I'm going to take the next 7 hours of footage that I have and compress it down into a nice little montage. But just know that this was well over a week's worth of work. Done.
Oh, it is pink. Oh,
Who would have thought?
oh my god.
Who would have thought?
Dude. I was hoping that this would all kind of. I knew it was going to be richer, but I had no idea. Are you ever going to work with Epoxy again?
It might be a while.
Yeah. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Whoever would have thought that dirty little piece of wood could turn into that?
You can just caress it. You can just touch it.
Yeah,
You can
it's
just-
so fucking smooth.
You're just gonna keep touching.
I am gonna
She keeps touching it. And the wood penis is protected.
Thank you.
I mean, get rid of the wood penis.
No, I'm
be
about natural things. I'm about natural things.
Well, there we go. A build, a table, a thing. Someone who's happy.
Happy girl.
She's elated.
Happy girl. I am. I don't even know what to say. Like.
Now, anybody that comes here to go and get a tattoo and get stabbed and get all of those things done by Teika, if you put anything on the table, I am coming for you. Don't touch it. Thanks for checking out this video. See you next time.